Hello, Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka done. Okay, I would like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They are an online therapy company. They are international. They are everywhere in the world. If you need to get to a therapist online, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. And I am so thrilled because I have been getting reports back from people using them and they've been very happy with them. So that makes me very happy. They're affordable. And if you don't like the therapist that you're put with, all you got to do is say, didn't like them, didn't work out. Fill out some more questions and they will place you with a different licensed professional therapist, master's level or PhD level in your state, or if you're international, some other therapist that you can work with. So thank you. BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay, let's dive into the questions, shall we? All right. How do I get myself to leave the house and face the big bad world that I fear? Get with a trauma therapist. Seriously, I'm not kidding you. So when we have a great deal of trauma and we have a large amount of fear, that fear starts making our world smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And we can develop agoraphobia. Agora meaning everything, phobia, fear. So we're afraid of everything. And it becomes debilitating. It really does. And people can get to the point where they're afraid to leave their house because everything feels dangerous. Everything feels, not safe. It's, something's going to happen, that kind of thing. So a lot of times with agoraphobia, people are dealing with what if this happens? What if that happens? I can't leave. What if this happens? You're basically going to have to give the middle finger to the what if and be like, no, thank you. Yeah. Is it a possibility? Yeah. It's possible that I could walk outside and get hit by a bus. It's possible. Is it probable? No. So you're going to have to start challenging those thoughts. Get with a good trauma therapist. Where did this fear of everything come from? Our abusers love, good Lord, I need to clean my desk. Abusers love to control us with fear. They love to. They love to make us afraid of damn near everything. And when we leave, we kind of take that fear with us. So it's a really good idea. Get with a good trauma therapist. Start working on the fear. Don't allow the fear to stop you. That's really what fear is there to do. It is there to stop you. It's there to be like, nope, you can't do that. That's too scary. No, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? So challenge the what ifs. The what ifs are living in a future that has not and probably will not occur. Is it possible? Yeah. It's possible something bad could happen. Is it probable? No, it's not. So get with a good trauma therapist, start working on that to help you be able to go out and do that. There's some great books on agoraphobia. There's the Fear and Phobia workbook. There's the Fear workbook. There's all sorts of workbooks. So go online and look for a workbook about fear and start working through your fear. Fear is a lie. Fear is a lie. Could it happen? Yeah, it could. Danger's real, but fear is a lie. Fear is just a thought. Fear is just a thought. It has not occurred, but our amygdalas treat it as if it has already happened. You can't do that. That's where the mindfulness comes in. It's like, has this happened? No. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it probable? Probably not. So that's what you got to start doing. Get with a good trauma therapist for sure. Okay. My abuser immediately got a new spouse and is posting pictures like crazy on social media about how happy they are. I feel like it's not fair that they are happy after what they put me through. Do they feel true happiness? No, they don't. So you cannot believe everything that they post online. Remember, what they are doing is they are putting their version of reality out there. That they want you to think that they are living this wonderful, amazing life, and they're not. Abusers don't feel. Abusers don't feel. They do not love the way you and I understand love. They do not respect. They do not feel. They use. We have no more meaning to them than this eraser thing, and when this eraser thing is used up, toss. Same thing with people. When people get used up, they toss them. So when an abuser gets with a new source, a new supply, they are all about showing the world. See, it's not me, it's them. Oh, see, I'm having a great time. See how fabulous this is? Look how fabulous I am. Look how great, how much fun I'm having, and how in love I am, and da 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 da, or how loved I am. And they do that because it's performance. It is performance. So remember, they're performing. They're performing for you. The reality of it is they're not getting with a new spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and then suddenly having this great life. What they are doing is trying to present this great life. And in reality, what's happening is they're going to treat them exactly the same way they treated you. And right now, this is the love bombing phase, or right now, this is the honeymoon phase, or right now, this is the, I'll show you phase. And it'll just repeat out. It'll repeat out. It'll repeat out. So no, they don't love. They don't love. They're not having this great life. Stop. First of all, stop looking at their social media. Stop looking at their social media. What your abuser is now doing once you've gotten away from them, unless you're in a court battle with them, is none of your business. Really. You don't need to know, because they're not reliable sources of information. They lie. They lie like a rug. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stop looking at the social media, and realize that this is performative art. They're doing a performance. They're putting on a show of how happy they are and how wonderful this new person is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they're hoping you're looking at it. If you want to save your sanity, cut them off. No more social media. Don't look at their social media accounts. Block their number. So remember, we're coming into the time of year where it's going to be Hoovers like crazy, because we're coming into the holidays. And we're coming into the time of year when, this sometimes narcissistic supply runs out because they've shown themselves for who they are to their new supply, and they'll be turning around and looking back and to see who they can hoover from the past. So don't fall for it. Block them. Block them on social media. Block them on email. Block them on your phone. Block them in every way, shape, or form that you possibly can. So yes, do that. And don't look at their social media accounts. Remember, if they couldn't tell the truth in person, they certainly can't tell the truth on social media. So there that is. Okay. All right. Why do abusers, when they get caught in bad behavior, seem to take responsibility a little bit, and then later, sometimes hours or days later, do a 180 and start blaming and rejecting accountability? Because their egos can't handle it. So in the beginning, they'll take accountability because it's expected, or it's the thing that they should do to save face or to seem like they're a good person. But honestly, yeah, within hours, sometimes minutes later, they'll flip around and be like, well, that happened because of so-and-so, or this person made me do whatever, or, whatever. So it's, again, behavior is long-term. Behavior is long-term. You want to look at the behavior. How is the behavior over months, days, weeks, years? You know what I'm saying? How is the behavior? And a person who takes responsibility takes responsibility. Yeah, I did that, and I've done everything I can to fix it, and I'm hoping that the other person forgives me, and if they don't, well, I have done everything I can to fix it, that kind of thing. Not taking responsibility is where they go, well, they made me, or you made me, or it wasn't my fault, well, I had to. Those are all ways of shoving off responsibility. So they do it, again, performative. They are performing. Who's the audience? Who were they trying to impress when they took responsibility for that millisecond? And then the ego kicked in. Remember, these abusers are 110% ego up here. There is no there. It's all ego. So it's over the long term. It's like, you don't look at the millisecond, you look at how they are over the long term. And if they're consistently not taking responsibility, not taking personal accountability, not, flipping the script, making it somebody else's fault, they're showing you who they are. And it's the ego. The ego can't stand being wrong. And in the ego's mind, if you take responsibility for making a mistake, that means you're wrong. So there that is. All right. Okay. Why the smear campaign? Okay. So smear campaigns are done because they need to discredit you. They need to make sure that everyone knows that you're crazy, you're this, you're abusive, you're whatever that they're painting, whatever picture of BS that they're painting, that everyone knows that it's you, not them. So that's what the smear campaign is all about. God forbid people actually hear what happened to a target of abuse and, oh my God, people realize that this person is really, truly abusive. So the smear campaign is to get out and convince as many people as possible that you were the problem, not the abuser. Again, it's a tactic. It everything to them. They think everyone is going to behave the way they behave. They think everyone is going to do what they would do. So because they will think nothing of going out and smearing this person that they swore to the moon and back that they loved, they think that the other person is thinking and going to do the exact same thing that they are. We talked a little bit about this on Sunday. So they do things because they would do it to beat you to the punch, and they think that you're going to do the same thing. That's why getting down into the mud with an abuser never works, because that's what they're expecting, number one. Number two, they don't have the same emotions you and I have. You cannot hurt them. There is no they're there to hurt, and you wouldn't want to anyway. So, but that's why, because that's what they would do. And so since that's what they would do, they're going to beat you to the punch, and they're going to make sure everybody knows you're crazy, or everybody knows you're the bad guy, or everybody knows that you did X, Y, and Z. And that's why they go on the smear campaign, because they expect you to do the same. Don't do it. The best thing you can do really is to just not say a word. Don't let them get away with defamation. Don't let them get away with libel. Don't let them get away with anything like that. But you just don't say anything. They're looking for the fight. They would rather have a messed up, dysfunctional connection to somebody, something that's filled with contention and arguing, than no connection at all. You want to give them no connection at all. Cut them off. And don't play. If somebody comes to you like a flying monkey, comes to you and says, oh, well, your ex said blah, 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 blah. That's interesting. I don't care. Please don't come to me and tell me what my ex is saying, because I don't care. And if you do it again, you and I will be done. Yeah, you want to cut them off. Anybody who's a flying monkey is siding with the abuser. And you do not want them in your life. You don't want them in your life. You just don't. So cut them off. Cut them off. Don't have them in your life. Absolutely. Okay. Why do narcissists need a harem? Oh boy. Okay. Well, narcissists need a constant supply. Constant. I mean, constant. Like, this needs to be going like nonstop. And if they cannot have a constant supply, they feel like they don't exist. So they tend to have harems, and the harems can look like anything from multiple romantic relationships to multiple exes that they supposedly still call and talk to, and this, that, and the other thing. So a harem is when they get together, members of the opposite sex or members of the same sex, and use them as romantic possibilities and flirt with them and this, that, and the other thing. And they need that for their ego. A healthy, normal person doesn't need that. You can remain friends with exes and things like that, but it's not like you're talking to them every day. But with a narcissist, they'll be talking to exes all the time, especially if they're grooming them to become another supply again. And they will do that. And narcissists are notorious. Again, you guys have got to be careful, because like I said, we're coming up onto the Hoover season, and they'll contact exes from 20 years ago, which is mind-blowing, because most people move on, get on with their life, go do other things, are involved with other people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I've actually had more than one. I've had one in particular that stands out in my mind. 20 years later, the abuser called them out of the blue, found their number, called them. Oh, I was just thinking about you and I miss you and was hoping we could get together for coffee, and click, so proud of her. So yeah, they do that. And they're looking for that constant supply, that constant ego supply. A lot of times narcissists are also sex addicts. And so they will have sexual partners all over the place, which could be construed as a harem. Yeah. So, they just need constant supply, and they'll either have people waiting in the wings, or they'll have a whole bunch of people that they kind of keep on the string and, can pick and pull into their lives or things like that. So they do that for their ego. It's all ego. They don't care about the person. They truly don't. If you cared about the person, you wouldn't do that to them. You know what I'm saying? So there is that. I had somebody comment in the comments on last week's video that mindfulness is used as a punishment, or as a way of making them wrong. That is not the true purpose of mindfulness. I want to be very clear. Mindfulness is non-judgmental. It is staying in the moment, and it is not allowing the stories to keep you stuck. That is what mindfulness is about. Mindfulness is helping you move forward in a healthy way, in a present way, so that you can be fully alive and fully awake and fully aware and fully enjoying this amazing life. So that is what mindfulness is. If anybody is using it to harm, hurt, put down, make you wrong, etc., 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 no, don't do that. That's not what it's for. But I will say, again, and I'm sure this is probably what triggered some people, is that don't get stuck in the victim story. That keeps you stuck. That keeps you stuck, because that's exactly what it is. It's a story, and that's not who you are. You are not a victim. You have been a target of abuse, absolutely, but that is not who you are. Who you are is a human being who has worth, who has the right to be present in the present moment and enjoy this beautiful life. So there that is. All right, my loves. You guys go have a great week. And I promised I would say what the show is going to be on. And dear Lord, can I find it? November shows? No, I'm looking for October shows. Hang on. I know it's here somewhere. You would think if I was organized, I'd be, there we go. Hang on. Oh, where are they? Okay. Oversharing. Okay. I want to talk next week, this coming week, this Sunday, on oversharing. Oversharing is dangerous. It's going to get you killed, especially if you are in a relationship with a dark triad, somebody who is scorched earth policy, basically taking you into court if you've got kids, taking you into court and wanting to get full custody because they don't want to pay you child support because they can't wrap their heads around it that the support is going to the kids, not to you. Don't get me started. But oversharing is dangerous in so many different levels, on so many different ways. And I want to talk about why and how to stop yourself. Because again, that is an inner child thing that's happening. The inner child is running the show at that point. So next week is going to be oversharing is dangerous, how to stop it. All right. Okay, you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.